What's the
Craig?
scale on that one? Is that a,
What's that?
I'm just trying to figure out.
Oop, lost you.
I lost you. But Craig, I didn't see photos in what you sent this morning. I opened it. There were no photos.
Let me look here.
It was just a scan of the application of the building permit.
There was 2 attachments. You know, one's not a PDF, it's in Word.
Yep, I got the Word one, but I didn't see photos. So that's why I was. Oh, I see. If you scroll through. Okay.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
scroll down. There was like, there was, it's probably like 5 or 6 pages of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, they're in the Word document.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Word.
Got it.
Okay.
This morning. All right, let me get 221 because they just sent me an email. I'm gonna let her know they are on the agenda.
No problem. 220.
I'm here, Craig.
221 Warren Street fence. All right, let's,
Perfect. Everybody's here? I hope.
yeah, let's get started. Thanks, everyone. I know this was a hard day for a lot of folks to plug in, and I appreciate everybody being here. Makes a big difference. We had originally put on the agenda that was published the Galvin Hudson Forum Community Theater. It is not an application. It was a information meeting, which I much appreciate. They had asked for our input preliminary to completing the application. As the agenda came together, it occurred to me that there really was not enough time to have a robust discussion. I communicated that to the applicant. They agreed that it probably made some common sense to move to the next meeting, and so they will be in the next meeting, not in this meeting. So that's the Galvin Hudson Forum Community Theater is off the agenda for today's meeting. Meeting is called to order. First order of business, the commission will review the minutes from the meeting of August 26th. If everybody's good to go on that, I'll take a motion to approve the minutes as prepared by Jan.
Motion.
Thank you very much, Hugh. And a second?
I'll second, Jeremy.
Jeremy, thanks so much. In favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None. The minutes are approved. Jan couldn't be here today. She kindly agreed to grab the recording and complete the minutes from that. So that's how we're going to do it. Next up, certificate of appropriateness votes. I've got 2 today, unless I got it wrong. I've got 106, 108 Union Street and 501 Union Street elevator shaft. Just to be clear on 501, we've been doing that application kind of in slices, which I find hard when I'm looking up stuff, but this is specifically just the elevator shaft that was presented and approved in the prior meeting. And Victoria's got 106, 108 up on the screen if everybody wants to review that.
Can I just ask, I'm sorry, Rebecca Wolf here for 1 second. 110 Union Street. I'm pretty sure I have a certificate of appropriateness today as well.
You're on the agenda, if that's what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
All true.
Cool. Okay, thanks.
It's all good. I remember very much in the last meeting, we had talked about the materials for the stoop. You were going to give us a little more information, so we should be good to go, and that'll come up pretty soon. So bear with.
Thanks.
May I have a motion to approve 106, 108 Union Certificate of Appropriateness as prepared by the city attorney? Anyone?
Make that motion, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. And a second, please.
Second, Miranda.
Hey, Miranda, good to see you.
Hi.
And good morning, all in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None. Certificate is approved. We'll get that stamped and out. Second up, 501 Union Street, and that's elevator shaft.
You're more than welcome.
All right, well,
Motion to approve 501 Union Street. Certificate of appropriateness.
Motion.
Thank you, Hugh. Second, please.
Second,
Thanks, Miranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None. Certificate is approved. We'll get that stamped and out. Thanks, everyone. I tried to structure the C of A applications in a way that we got through signs and folks who were continuing conversation with the commission up early. I hope I didn't screw it up, but let's give it a go. So let's go through the C of A applications. First up is 727 Warren Street for a sign. Is someone here for 727 Warren Street, a sign? Going once, going twice on 727 Warren Street, a sign. Okay, they may come in later. We'll figure it out. Next up, 110 Union Street, Rebecca, that's you. And it's a continuation of the conversation for the stoop you're fixing.
yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
And yeah, I provided some drawings. I can share my screen with them if you'd like.
Sure, that would be great. We were just, I think that Commissioner Bowl had pointed out that you probably didn't need as many steps as you had in the original concept, given the height of it.
Yeah.
And you could succeed very well with a smaller stoop. Is that fair, Rebecca?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a bunch of things. Yes. And so I basically, here, I'll show you. Oops, that's not the right thing I wanted to share. Sorry. Where did it go? Are you guys seeing a photograph of a brick?
No, it's mostly doors, Rebecca.
Oh, you're seeing, okay, so
Drawing
you're
of the door.
seeing the drawing. Okay, good. That's what I was trying to show you.
Okay.
But now I have to find it on my screen to talk about it. Okay. Okay, so that is the front elevation. And so what I'm really drawing is the stoop. So the doors are just there to show you
Okay.
how big the doors are. That's
No,
not.
understood. This application is totally about the stoop.
Yep. So the stoop, as you can see, my street is very sloped. And so basically I'm not sure what to say about it exactly, except that the measurements are here. The arms of the stoop. Should I also show the proposed
Materials,
well, the materials are concrete.
but you had a cool shot of a neighbor who'd done virtually.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna show
You
you
were gonna
again.
work off that. Be good to see you.
Okay, so this Zoom is very complicated because I have so many things on my screen. Hold on a minute. How can I get back to?
click on share screen, the big part of the green thing, it'll show you all your windows that you have open. You can pick the one you want to share.
Okay, I'm just having trouble getting back to the actual Zoom that I'm in, like the meeting screen. Sorry, bear with me for a second. Windows, bring all to front. I literally can't find the screen. Sorry.
Rebecca, I'm just going to stop your sharing right now and hopefully that will help you.
That would be great. Thank you. Yes. Okay. All right. Share screen.
There you go.
Okay. So this, yeah. So the materials of this stoop are some kind of stucco over some kind of brick or concrete. And I don't know if you can, I'll try to get it larger, but if you can, it's very crumbly and cracked and stuff. So really it's just the color and shape that I'm showing you. So my stoop, as you said, will start under my water table, and we'll go and we'll have just 2 steps. And but what it really replicates is these 9-inch wide arms on the side, which are level with the top of the landing. And then they are inset at the bottom step. It's inset like 2 inches, if you see what I mean. So if you're like sitting on the bottom step, you would have this little 2-inch sort of shield. And so let's see, should I go back to sharing my drawing?
Yeah, because this gives us a general idea. Could you just confirm what you said, that that was crumbling? What the materials I assume you're using are concrete or brick and stucco,
Yeah,
or
just concrete. It's going to
Okay.
be, and I'm actually just going to remove my entire, what's there, and just pour, like they'll do forms and pour concrete.
Okay.
And my intention is to have the concrete color as close as I can to the color of the water table. I don't know. Yeah, so that's my intention.
Aren't you glad that Commissioner Bowl introduced the term water table to us?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm still curious why it's called water table. I guess probably because it helps the water not go into the building, I think is what it is. Like it keeps the water.
Okay.
But
So it's two steps concrete.
Yep, with the arms.
I understand.
Rebecca, do you have a photograph of your house?
Yeah, I do. I have multiple, but that I can.
That shows the front door and the stoop.
Yeah,
that's there.
sure. If somebody can kindly again, or I can stop sharing. Hold on. I did it. Okay. Okay. So this is my current stoop. And so you see the water table is there, and the landing step, like when you come out of my doors, that's the landing. And so the way it'll be now is that, and the water table is 5 3/4 inches high. So you'll step down 5 3/4 inches to the first step, which is 25 inches deep. And then you'll step down 8 inches to another, to the final step, which is also 25 inches deep. So the only thing that's changing in terms of the footprint of it is that it's my new proposed stoop is less deep. This current one is, I think it's 63 inches deep. And the proposed one is going to be 52 inches.
Okay.
But it's the same width. The current one is 93 inches wide, and that's what I'm proposing for the new one.
I understand.
And are
Craig,
you planning
you're
railing or
good with where
anything
we're
on
at?
the sides?
Sorry,
I'm
what?
sorry, Miranda.
Are you planning a railing on the sides?
Well, I was curious to know from Craig and the whole board whether I needed any railings. Somebody said last time I was here that possibly because it's going to be lower and only 2 steps that I might not need railings. I don't know what, but if I do need railings, then I will put railings.
The railings would be required if the highest point of the stoop, which is the landing, is 30 inches above grade or more than 3 steps, which you don't.
So it's not, because the highest point of the proposed landing is 17 inches.
Yeah. No, we had this discussion in the prior meeting, and given the change that was made to go to 2 steps rather than 3, I believe it was agreed that a railing wasn't required.
Right. Keep in mind, if you ever decide that you want to add a railing, then of course you would have to come back to this commission.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Commissioners, thoughts, comments?
I mean, I think it looks, my reaction is it looks innocuous, it looks appropriate. Is there a drawing of the actual? I mean, I'm sure there's drawings and dimensions of what's actually to be constructed other than the photograph of the.
Yeah, let me
neighbor.
go back and share that. That was the first thing, but I'm not sure it was, I did front and right and left elevations if you want to see all of them. So, are you seeing? Yeah, okay, so.
I see.
Yeah, so you see so those arms, I think I didn't put in, they're each 9 inches wide.
Mhm.
So the whole thing is 93 inches wide. The shortest part of it is 9 3/4 inches tall, and then the tallest part is 17 inches tall.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just stucco, right? Like you showed. And
No,
it's
it's gonna be concrete.
okay. Is it finished at all?
It is going to be sanded, but not like I wasn't planning to do stucco on it because my understanding is that stucco,
Not very durable.
yeah.
I think this is I think first of all, it looks like it's going to be an improvement, and secondly, it seems non-controversial. I would vote to approve it.
Thanks very much.
And I'll make a motion to do that.
We got to start with a motion on completeness, John.
Great. Go ahead, Phil. I'll make the motion on completeness and to waive a public hearing.
Thank you very much. May I have a second, please? Miranda, all in favor? Any opposed? The application is complete. A motion to request the city attorney to prepare a C of A. That would be John and
Second.
Miranda, all in favor?
Aye. Great. Thank you.
None opposed. It's approved. Well done, Rebecca.
Thank you.
So the next step is, there's not much of a next step, actually. I got to prepare a C of A. For this, we vote on the C of A separately, I'm afraid, in another meeting, but stay in touch with Craig and we'll move you along.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great. Thanks a bunch.
I have 508 Warren Street, an awning.
I have to stop sharing. Hold on, sorry. Oops.
That's me. Can you hear me?
We can.
Yes, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
We know you.
Yes, you do. Yeah, so do you want me to start?
Please show us your awning.
Hey, oh, I'm ill prepared actually. But Craig, what I sent you, was that not sent to the board? Craig?
yes, everything was sent. They have it.
Just because I'm on a separate laptop at the work site now and I don't have that awning here.
Okay, we need someone with certain technical genius to find that,
That would definitely not be me.
and it's not you.
It's fairly illiterate.
What's the address?
508 Warren Street. I think I sent you a photo of the previous.
I found it. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I have it too.
Let's see. Oh, it's this one. This is the,
Okay, that's previous, and there's actually a new awning up, and so let me clarify. There you go. So in our Craig came to me a couple of weeks ago and mentioned that like I didn't have an appropriateness for the awning, and I communicated to him that in our previous meetings, at the previous meetings that I attended in regards to the windows, it was the second to last meeting or the last meeting before the public hearing. In that meeting, I had brought up replacing the awning because it was torn and not working. The mechanics weren't working, and repairing those staircase. And in that meeting, I'd asked, because we knew that we were going to take more time to make up our mind about the windows, if I could go ahead with the awning and the stairs, and that was approved. Now, I've looked back at the from the minutes from the two prior meetings, and it's not in, it's not in the meeting notes, but, I'm communicating that I was fully understanding that I could go ahead and put that awning up.
So tell me what's going on. This is what's up right now. You went
Yes.
in and did it.
Because I had I had the order standing with Sice Beer prior to that last meeting. And then in the proposal, again, last time I was sort of ignorant to the process of the Historic Commission. So, in that meeting, I brought up the windows, the staircase, the railing, and the awnings,
Okay.
knowing that there was going to be.
It is what it is. You've already built it out, and I assume Craig got in touch with you on that.
He did.
Okay, this is all good then. So the question, I don't want to spend a lot of time on the awning and whatnot. If Craig has determined from the measurements that you provided, scale of everything, that it's in code, that's a good place to start.
Craig, I communicated to you, I pulled a measurement and the awning's locked in at whatever the distance is to the sidewalk for safety.
The thing we have to confirm, and I'm not sure where we're at with that, is when that awning is open, it has to be a minimum 8 feet above the sidewalk.
Yeah, no, but you communicated that to me, and so this isn't just an exciting photo from when we first put it up. It's now at that measurement.
All right, so
Doesn't go low.
in the permitting process, we'll document that, and then of course in the C of A app, we'll probably document it as well. But that'll satisfy code.
Yeah, just let me know what you need from me moving forward.
Commissioners, questions or comments?
I vote that we approve the.
John, you can't.
We
vote
vow
yet.
it. I propose that we deem it complete, waive a public hearing, and ask the city attorney to issue a C of A amended C of A, whatever she.
This
needs.
is all good, John. We have to do it one at a time. May I have a motion to find the application complete?
Motion,
Waive public.
And a
hearing.
second, Miranda, all in favor?
yes.
Any opposed? None. A motion to request the city attorney to prepare a C of A with a contingency that we have confirmation of the 8-foot clearance and any other code issues from Craig Haig. Yes?
Sure. Hugh,
In favor? Any opposed? Oh, I'm sorry.
Second.
The second.
Second, thank you very much. John keeps on throwing me off. He's moving way ahead of me. All in favor?
Aye.
Good. Okay. So that's the story. The city attorney will prepare a C of A. Craig will have that in 2 weeks. Please get in touch with Craig and just confirm the dimensions.
Will do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate your work.
We've got, trying to keep this somewhat going forward. We had 2 no-shows in a prior meeting, and I'm not sure they're here today. They've been knocking on the door for 2 or 3 meetings now, and we haven't had a chance to see anything. First up, 717 Columbia Street. Is anyone here for 717?
I had confirmed with her yesterday afternoon that they are not completed yet on their proposals, so.
Oh, thanks, Craig.
And 624 Warren, I spoke with them this morning. They should be here and on and ready.
I'm Lou here for 624 Warren.
Who's speaking? Just shout or wave so I can see it clearly. Louis?
Yes, that's me. How are you?
Okay. So
Sorry,
we
I'm-
missed you a couple meetings. Are you ready to share your screen? Take us through your app?
I am. I was on a job last week with bad service. I apologize. So it's just window replacement. We're looking to change the color of the windows at 624 Warren.
Okay. Can you show us something? Picture of the building and so on?
Yep. I mean, it was submitted. Let's see, I have a picture. I just pulled up just in case. I'm on my phone, so I don't know. Can I share it from my phone?
Here, let me help. Hold on.
Louis, I see you're outside.
Yes,
This is the building.
that's the building, exactly. That's one of the oldest pictures we could find where it had black windows. We're
What a
looking,
riot.
we're looking to go back to that look of white and black when we decide to paint it.
Okay, and let me see if I can get a picture of it now. You said it, what's the address?
624 Warren. It's the big red building on the corner of 7th and Warren, where House Realty is.
This is it now. So can you explain, you're looking to change the windows on the second floor to black? Because it looks like the storefront's already black.
The top 2 floors, exactly, the apartments. Just exactly what they are, a vinyl going to black.
Will it be wood or vinyl?
They're vinyl. They're vinyl now.
The existing windows are vinyl.
Yes,
Okay.
And the new windows?
Are
Are
vinyl.
the same thing. Gotta be the same.
And that's it. So we're talking the side of the building facing Warren Street. Looks, how many windows are you doing?
How many windows is it? It's both sides, 7th Street and the Warren Street side.
Oh, it is. Okay. So it'll be same all around and it'll be black and multi-light. Do you have any specs on the windows?
I do. I submitted it with
I'll pull it up.
the email.
Okay.
This was all Nick could give me from Curtis Lumber, but I submitted everything I had.
Can you
And
see?
I, yeah, there you
So they're 6/6?
exactly. That's what's there now.
Are these true lights or are they strips in between 2 panes of glass?
I'm sorry, Miranda, I couldn't hear you.
Are the muntins, are they true lights? Are they 3D on the outside of the window, or are they strips in between the 2 panes of glass?
I believe they are on the outside of the glass. I didn't like it between the glass. Didn't like that look. But I'll clarify that to make sure. That was one of the things I didn't want it in between the glass.
I understand. And this does not involve any change in the opening.
Not at all. Nope.
So there's no structural change. This is a change in color, basically, with a like-for-like installation. Is that correct?
Exactly.
I know we have rules about like for like, but I just want to say this is a very important historic building in Hudson. It's on Warren Street at the corner of the park. It's one of the older buildings. And I would really plead with you to consider using wood windows instead of vinyl windows because they're so out of keeping with the history of this building.
Okay.
I mean, if we may not have the authority to force you to do that. I'm not trying to, give you.
Miranda, I'm not sure
trouble,
that's the
but-
case, because if it was like for like, he wouldn't be before this board
Right.
on this issue.
We have the ability not to issue a certificate of appropriateness.
Uh-huh. But it's just because it's such a prominent building, it has particular importance in my mind. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Lou, are you the owner, or are you representing the owner?
No, I own LA Painting. Oh, no, I'm one of the,
Okay. You are one of the owners. Okay. Then I think that is, I think in up and down Warren Street, we've tried to hold the line that there are historically sensitive windows, I think generally from Marvin, that are paintable, great, but that also are more in character with Warren Street than vinyl or even vinyl aluminum clad windows. So I don't know how that sits with you, but
no, I understand. I understood.
Okay.
And they could be painted black if the aesthetic of the black is what you're going for. That's not the issue. It's more of what the materiality of it is.
I understand that the historical end.
Louis, are you in agreement with that? Otherwise, we would actually have to go ahead and vote on completeness and then vote on the application as presented, which is vinyl. Unless you're saying you want to come back with specs for wood windows.
I'll come back with specs for the wood. Let me reach out to Nick and I'll come back for the next meeting.
Terrific.
Thank you, Louis.
We're
That's
done.
really
We'll see you
great.
at the next meeting.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Louis.
Thank you.
Let's see. We got 221 Warren Street, a fence.
That's me. Hello. Good morning.
Hi, Jess. Good morning. I'm Phil. Good to see you.
Good morning. Nice to meet you. Let's see. Shall I share my screen?
Please do.
All right. So this is the existing fence is the red. It's not complete. It doesn't encapsulate the entire backyard. Let's see if I can. Find.
Jess, do you have a picture of the house right now with whatever's in front? Is there a fence up already? Is this a replacement or?
Yes, I do. Let me find the right one here.
That'd be
This-
great. So let's start there from a bit of a
Okay, so this is
streetscape and then move in.
This is the existing fence here. It's barely standing, as you can see. And you can see that there's no
We're just
fence.
seeing a list of
We're not
items.
actually seeing it.
Oh, can you not see it?
Correct.
No, it's not opened, at least on our screens.
All right,
You might want to stop sharing, open it, and then try to just share that screen.
Okay, you got it. Hold on one sec. All right.
There we go.
So you're
See
seeing
the fence.
And you're willing to give that up?
this fence? Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right?
Okay.
Real beauty. But I want to show you. So here you can see that there's no fence on the side.
Right.
And you can't see that there's a fence in the middle here that is falling down. So let me I think I have to stop and then.
Just out of curiosity, how high are you putting the side fence? Will it block your neighbor's window?
No, there will be, hold on one sec. I'm sorry, this is a little bit. Give me one sec. I just need to find this list. Thank you for your patience. I'm just going to open everything real quick. All right. Can you see anything now?
No. You have to share your screen again.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I think this,
Mhm.
what are you seeing now?
We're seeing lattice with vegetation.
Okay, so that is the side of the house. So you can see that that's the only existing side part. And then what I will show you again is this. So this is the base plan. You can see that the side we plan to continue down, because right now the tenant in Nick Haddad's building exits here out into our yard. And so we're creating a corridor down the side of the building that will have a gate at the end for egress for that building. And then so will encapsulate from our side door to keep it secure for pets and kids, and then take it all the way down to the end of the drive. Does that make sense?
So it's right, it's not being pushed up against the lot line.
No, it will have plenty of room in front of the window. That won't block it.
Okay.
And yes,
Materials, other specs?
rough cut pine.
Do you have an image or something?
I do. Bear with me here. I will show sorry, it's taking a minute.
Here, I can pull it up and you can talk everyone through it.
Okay, if that works. It's hard for me to pull one up at a time.
Let me see.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. So that's the basic style we're looking at, except for horizontal.
Sorry, I'm not seeing a picture.
You don't see it? Let me try again.
See it.
Better.
So that's the style, except we'd like to have horizontal slats on the main part of the fence. And at the top, the trellis won't be as tight to let sunshine in.
Okay.
So we're just planning on rough cut pine. We may treat it with a stain, but we don't plan to paint.
Good. Questions or comments? Not so much. May I have a motion to find the application complete?
I'll make that motion.
Jeremy, thank you. And a second, please.
Second.
Thanks very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Motion to waive a public hearing and request city attorney to prepare a CVA. Anybody?
I'll make that motion.
Jeremy, again, thank you. And Miranda will take that as a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. You're approved. We'll vote on your C of A at the next meeting. Stay in touch with Craig.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm not sure where to go. We've got other folks who've been on. Hey, Craig, when did 43 North 6 come in? Around the same time as everything else?
Let's see, 43 North 6, I sent it over about the same time. His
Okay.
application, and this morning I sent the specs I had, and he should be on. He just called me. And then Taconic Engineering should be on for 548, 550 Warren as well. They should be the only two left.
So no, we're not going to do 2426 Park Place?
That's the same as 717 Columbia, I believe.
Oh, it is. Forgive me.
I'm going to see, are we on the schedule? 752 Warren?
What is it?
752? Warren, no. Unless it's something I missed, Craig. I don't see anything on that.
one was sent
Yeah,
over.
it's on. It should be on. I have it.
Yeah,
you
I
have-
sent that one over. That's right. I forgot about that one. I
you
did
have-
send it over. That was one of the first ones I sent.
Do you have 238 Allen?
No.
No.
That was the one you promised to do today because you didn't do it last time.
This is going well.
I'll defer as long as, we can do it next time, I guess.
Let's see how this goes in terms of
Yeah.
time. This is obviously totally my fault. Some of the folks on the commission need to cut out at a certain period of time. So bear with us, Walter. There's
Okay.
always possibility.
Okay, hope springs eternal.
Next on the agenda is 2426 Park.
Let's do it. Someone had just said it was part of another app.
That was Craig. He said it was part of 717 Columbia.
And they're not ready yet. So let's move on down to, what do we have? 548, 550 Warren.
Hi, how are you guys?
Kylie?
Let's share my screen. So we were here previously to get approval for stairs and a fence at the rear of 548, 550.
Right.
That was approved. So originally, the stairs were going to go in between 548, 550, and 544. The two neighbors no longer want to share those egress stairs in the alley. So we have reconfigured the stairs. And it's the same fence design that we proposed before. And we want to add 2 feet of lattice on top. So, and the roof deck too. So the roof deck was reconfigured to meet the new egress stairs. So originally, the stairs went all the way up here, and then you had access to both buildings. You'll still have these stairs here, which will discharge at the second floor of the other building. But the egress stairs to the roof deck and the third floor will now be in this corner here. They're going to be steel fabricated stairs. It's got a roof covering for weather protection. And it has access to this roof deck, which is primarily for egress, but has a couple seating areas. There will be structural reinforcement down the center line here. And the fence design will remain brick and wood. So these are the elevations for the stairs.
So Kylie, could you recap what changed from the time we basically approved your application? What pushed the changes?
The two properties no longer want to share egress stairs.
I see.
So originally the egress stairs, you had access to both buildings and both roof decks.
Right.
They don't want to do that anymore.
So they had to be separated. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. I believe everything else we actually reviewed and approved at some point back.
All right. And then this is the new fence detail. So we're just adding this 2 feet of lattice at the top here. So same wood door construction as before, same brick fence construction as before. This metal gate will stay the same as what you approved. And then the section here just shows that being 2 feet taller.
Thank you. I think that's pretty clear. Folks, questions or comments, or can we go forward to the motion to find the application complete?
I have a question for Craig, please.
Yeah.
Craig, does if the egress stairs are going in front of a window, does that window need to be protected and rated for fire rating? I'm thinking about as the stairs come down the second and first and second floor, they're passing in front of windows.
That's a good question. I'll have to look that up. Let me see if I can find this. And if anything, they would just have to fire rate the window. And who's on for Deconic? Who is that?
Kylie.
Kylie, is there a sprinkler in the building?
That's a good question. I don't believe so.
I'm trying to remember if there is or not.
Well, it's not necessarily germane to the commission unless those windows need to have some feature that would offer that protection. So it's just an open question.
I'm trying to think, what window are you looking at?
So there's this one here, Craig.
Say that again?
This one here, at this first landing, or sorry, the second landing, where the stairs switch back. So if it needs to be safety glazed, it has to meet all 4 of those requirements. So it needs to be, I think, so it's a walking surface. So that's 1. It has to be either 36 inches above the walking surface, and it has to be less than 18 inches.
Exactly.
Let me suggest that the applicant resolve this with code. And that I'm assuming we're going to go forward, that we come back, there's confirmation that has been done. That's pretty easy to do.
Someone
Aside
from my office just said that if we put a railing in front of it, it should be fine.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. And if the windows are set back away from, like, in other words, it's not blocking it. It's just a staircase going through the window, and it's a first floor level. So I think a guard or something on it protects it. Does it need to be fire rated? I don't believe so because it's existing.
Yeah, my question wasn't about, certainly needs to be safety glazing in that area, and that can be accomplished with the railing as well. But my question was really about the fire rating of the protection of the path of egress. That's all.
Okay.
No, that's not required. There's no requirement for that.
Okay. I suggest, folks, we let code do their work on this, and we go and look at, see what we can move this forward. May I have a motion to find the application complete pending any issue that's raised by code, but in terms of what's presented, application complete? Anyone? Thank you, Hugh. And a second, please.
I'll make that motion.
You guys are slow today. Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Motion to waive a public hearing. Request the city attorney to prepare a C of A. Victoria and I will stay in touch with Craig to see if there's any other contingencies to go into that C of A. May I have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. And a second, please. Hugh, all in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None. Approved. Kylie, done?
Thank you. Have a good day.
Hey, thank you very much. What am I missing?
43 North 6.
Got it. Who's here to speak for 43 North 6? Not so much. They may come back in. Walter, are you still on?
Well, we have 752 Warren.
I'm sorry, 752. Go ahead, 752 Warren. Who's here?
Morning. Try my camera
Tim.
here.
Good morning.
I have to share my screen. And then you- Okay. All right, let's see if you can see me. Okay, so this is the existing pictures and historic pictures for the building. We're doing, proposing to do a full renovation to the building. The existing building as it remains, we're not doing much to the exterior of the building on the bottom 2 floors of the part that's existing. We're gonna keep all the existing windows, clean and restore them, and paint them red, which was the color that they were historically originally in the building. Bring that back. The Warren Street side of the building is going to be brought back to look much more like it was at the original building, the Crescent Garage building. We're going to restore the 2 center front doors to access this what was the showroom area. And then the only other modification on Warren Street is that this door here, it's going to remain the same, except we're going to lower the sill for ADA accessibility. And then on the 8th Street side of the building, where everything is staying the same, we're going to restore the leaded glass. We're going to relocate the leaded glass from this pane back over to here if it's not existing, so that we can keep the look and be brought back to the original building appearance here from the original back when it was brand new in the 20s. And then the side door, see the better picture here, the side door on 8th Street here, we're going to make a custom fabricated steel door that is going to be a double swing door with that will resemble this. We're working with SHPO as part of the owners pursuing the tax credit program, and so we're working with them to get their sign off on it, and the general concept they have accepted at this point for that. Moving around to the Prison Alley side. So we're going to replace this door to match the 8th Street door. Again, it'll have the same appearance. And then this, what used to be the elevator opening, we're going to put in a similar door to enclose a electrical room and trash area. So as far as the building is concerned, in the lower portion below the current coping down, we're not doing much to the building. When we go beyond that, we're looking to do a 3rd story addition to the building. Get an elevation here. So in elevation, we're gonna be adding a elevator shaft with a brick finish to match the existing brick on the lower section of the building. And then we're going to have a event space up here with a large amount of glass. And then we're going to have painted siding and trim that'll be picked from the historical colors selection that you guys have in there from Benjamin Moore that we're still working on the exact colors, but it will be from the historical color selection. So we did do, as part of working with SHPO, they were interested in what we're going to be able to see. So we did model this. And these are the views from the relative viewpoints around the building. So looking at the building from the 8th Street side, we will not be able to see the addition up here because it'll be held back from the face of the building. And we have the same effect at the Warren Street side. You won't be able to see it from Warren Street until we get up the street a little bit, this is roughly in front of Wasabi, which is a little ways up Warren Street, is the first time that you can see this. But again, this will be brick to match the lower section here, and then painted wood siding up on the rest of it you're going to see. I think the only thing that isn't shown here that we we know that we need to do is we're still working out the mechanical system. And so the current plan is to have solar up on the roof, which will not be as visible, but there will be some heat pumps up here, which will end up putting a enclosure for an equipment enclosure.
How are you seeing the space being used? You mentioned kind of an entertainment space. Is that unknown?
So the owner, so looking at the building, so I sort of went through that. So the Warren Street section of the building, both the first floor and the basement, will be a gallery space. The 8th Street side of the building, from roughly the middle here to the back, from the basement first, will be a business space. Not sure the business tenant they're working on. The second floor is going to be 3 apartment spaces, and then the rooftop will be a event space with a rooftop deck out here.
Well, I think this looks amazing. I don't know what else to say. I lived across this building for a number of years, and this looks like a great transformation, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And very sensitive.
I agree with you.
The owners, it was, like I said, we're working with SHPO, and even before we started working with SHPO, we've talked a lot about keeping the historic nature of the building. Interiors, we're going to do as much as we can to maintain all the historic finishes, especially like the barrel vault ceilings and stuff on the first floor will be remaining, things like that. So we're working as hard as we can to keep this as historically sensitive as we can.
Terrific, thank you. Other commissioners?
Yes, I think it looks, it's very interesting, and it'd be great to bring this building back to use and back to life. It would be important for us to see the concept for the enclosure or the visual enclosure around the heat pumps that you mentioned. It would be good to see that integrated into your sketches and how that works, because that will be very important, because that will be visible from certainly parts of the alley and from Upper Warren Street. But it looks terrific. Also, I guess you're here on a preliminary review, is that correct?
Yeah, we're filing for the COA. This is, I guess, our first part of it to get you guys to discuss it. We're going through starting the process now.
Okay.
So the question I got, and help me out, is there are probably things here that we could approve right now, and there are also some significant elements, as Chip pointed out, that are still in flight. And we can't approve until we have specificity. What makes sense, folks? Should we parse this and break it down into the bits that are essentially complete in concept, or should we wait for the applicant to come back with more detail on stuff? Certainly the enclosure about the heat and so on.
If I may address that, I think that we need to have a full and complete application in order to make a partial judgment, if you will. I think that, as we've done in the past, providing if you will, a non-binding recognition of the positive direction that they're going in. I think we've done that in the past. I think we can do that.
Many times, yeah.
I think we really need a full application that's been reviewed by Craig, that he understands all of the egress patterns and all of the interior workings of this building, in order to be assured that parts and pieces of this, in fact, can become a reality. Just as we mentioned about the enclosure around the heat pumps, I think also if the photovoltaic is going to be at an angle or on a flat roof, I think that frequently they want to be angled up in order to achieve a greater productivity. And also, I think that the elevator shaft may not, it looks like it may not be fully considered in terms of the height requirement for the penthouse above the top floor. So
We've reviewed the elevations and everything stays within the 45 feet for the zone. And we have the overrun for the elevator with a low head
okay, good,
overrun
great.
elevator.
Okay, great, terrific. I think that given the preliminary nature of this, we ought to, I would feel perfectly comfortable giving a positive nod to the applicant and look forward to the full review by Craig for the application, and so that we can really vote on whether the application is complete or not.
Chip, I totally agree. And could I suggest a motion to the effect that that the commission supports this concept and look forward to a complete application.
Quick question, Phil. It's Craig. What review are you looking for? I've looked at this. That's why you have it.
Yep.
In the exterior of the building, other than the mechanicals, have all been in compliance with code. So I don't know what else you want me to review.
If other folks agree, one option anyway is that we set aside the heat pump and related facility and enclosure. It was my understanding that there was still more research going on that.
We're working on finalizing the design for the building to get that in there. So the enclosure, we know we have to add where it's going to be dependent on the final equipment requirements that is still in process of being designed.
Okay, if we take that off the table, then at this time, that becomes a separate application. Does anybody feel or not feel that we have enough information?
Well,
I just want to note that they're gonna have to come back for things like exterior lighting. I didn't see any on this set.
Yeah, but the applicant is stating that this is in the design process. It's not a completed set of construction documents with an application for a building permit.
Yeah, it is. It's well, it's not for a building permit, but it is for a certificate of appropriateness. What they are presenting is what they're asking you to approve. Anything that they are not presenting is not approvable. That means they will have to come back with a new application. Unless they say very clearly that they are not seeking approval, that they are going to come back. But I reviewed this. I wasn't aware of the heat pumps because they're still designing them. And they didn't propose any outside lighting yet. So until they do that, based on the code, what they're presenting is approvable by code. If they want to alter that down the road, then they have to come back for a new approval.
Yeah.
I mean, based on what was presented and what Craig is saying, the windows are being the same and they're being upgraded. The brick is staying the same. It sounds like for what is in need of approval now is approvable or appropriate.
Well, fine. If Craig's reviewed this, I didn't realize that you had done a full review of this, Craig. If Craig's approved it for his purposes, then that's fine, and I understand Craig's position with that. We would need details for the windows and fenestration of the addition on the upper floor, the doors and windows. What are their manufacture? What are their details? What are the siding details and so forth? And as discussed, the screen around the heat pump.
Tim, do you have specs on the windows, on the structure on the roof?
We have not selected a final final product yet. No, we're still working on this. We're working our way through the design. Part of this is we need to come before you, obviously, for the project to make sure what we're going after is acceptable. But I also, and Chris Perry's here as one of the owners, but we're working towards, they're working on grant applications and stuff, and there's parts of this that required some feedback from the Preservation Commission. Chris, you want to comment on that a little further?
Yeah, hi everybody. in here from cell phone. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
So really, we love the historic character of the building, and we're very excited to restore it. The building obviously has been vacant for a long time. We love the idea of bringing it back to life and to use, and this will, create a cultural space on Warren Street that's not commercially driven. It'll create jobs, it'll create housing. So we're just super excited to get this thing off the ground. It's a major project, so we're working currently with the city of Hudson on a Empire State Development grant, and so I think they're excited to see progress in terms of working with the different boards and commissions to say, like, hey, this is a project that can get off the ground. So as far as we could get before our deadline for that grant application, which is early October, I think that will be really helpful to ensure the success of this project and find funding for it. As far as the design goes, SHPO is really kind of what we see as the final say in a lot of the selection of building materials and final design. So we've been working with them on input and have made some revisions. So that's kind of my input there.
Chris, I'm not sure I agree with you on SHPO having jurisdiction over what we all decide, but what I am hearing, and I think does make sense, is that we do need greater specificity on all of the roof items. If we can't have that now, basically what we can do is do nothing, or we can find the application not complete. And as Chip had proposed, if it's helpful in your discussions with SHPO, I believe I'll ask the commissioners that we'd be very happy writing some sort of letter of support. And the only outstanding issue is the level of detail that we need to understand.
We would very much appreciate a letter of support. And yeah, as far as jurisdiction on SHPO, I guess they're driving, whether or not we could get these tax credits, and ultimately that will go to national parks on their standards. So as they'll have a lot of input for us that we need to abide by,
of course,
to get that grant. But as far as authority, we understand that we're going, in front of you guys now.
Okay. So next steps, we can make a motion in terms of support. Somewhere between myself and Victoria, we could craft something and get that to you guys. Commissioners, does that sound agreeable?
Yes.
I think what Chip suggested originally is probably the right direction. I think.
So move on that, Miranda. Tell me what you're saying.
Well, I think Chip had originally suggested that we could, as we have done with other projects, give a positive response to the direction of this project and its sensitivity to restoration of the historic details of the building. And yet at the same time say the application is not complete because there are details still to be worked out and they will return to us at the proper time.
I don't think that has to be in the same document. We know the application is not complete because we're not going to vote it as complete. But we can do the support part. Do you have some language you want to use, or should we draft something offline? I understand it's a motion. Let me propose a motion and let's give this another go, that the Historic Preservation Commission finds this proposed project appropriate and extends its support to the applicant for this concept. Something like that.
Yeah, I think Victoria might have better words than to say about this than I do, but I think we need to avoid the confusion confusion of using the term appropriate. I think
Agree.
we,
Yeah.
I think we
Okay.
can talk about the general direction and the sensitivity to the restoration and the the compatibility of the proposed additions. But I think the motion might be, Phil, that Phil and Victoria could draft a letter for us to review. And I think if we were to vote on asking Phil and Victoria to draft a letter for our review at the next meeting, I think that would be appropriate.
Yep.
A
Okay.
motion. Mhm.
So I think you're supporting, you support the concept, but they need.
That's
to-
correct.
The details. Yeah.
That's correct. Chris, does that work for you?
Yeah, that'd be great. And I think, you know, there's some language that the ESD grant might want to see, and hopefully I could follow up with you. I'm in the city now, and I'll be back in my office on Monday.
No, I
And,
absolutely follow up. The intent is very clear that we want to be helpful to you in the process, and just because we can't prove anything right now, we still can be helpful.
Okay. And, you know, as we move forward, if you guys have specific input on the closure around the mechanical, you know, as I said, you know, the driver of this project has been, we love the character of the building and we're excited to keep it. And if the board feels that they want to see certain things around that enclosure and that, you know, that feels like it's in character with the project, we would love to have input rather than designing something and coming back to you guys and saying, you know, well, you know, we don't like that. So
of course,
if there are things that you know, like to see throughout the city, there's a number of, you know, enclosures like that are basically like, you know, small wood fences with horizontal slats on them. That's, you know, a character that you see throughout the city. So I don't know if that's kind of feels appropriate or.
Okay. Let's move forward then, and Chip, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I do have one other comment. I don't want to derail the motion of the, but I just want to ask Craig that from a fire separation point of view, in this drawing that we're looking at right now in the upper left-hand corner, there are windows in the addition up top, and there are windows in the existing wall that appear to be on the property line. And so again, I asked the same question relative to fire protected openings as to what are the requirements and the restrictions for the windows in a building that can be placed on a property line. Or
Well, they're not being placed on a property line, they're existing. So under the existing building code, it's in compliance, it's allowed, plus the building's gonna be sprinklered. All right, up on the upper level, we'll call it the rooftop for all practicality, as long as it's set back from 5 feet or more from the property line, then it's not required. If it's 3 to 5 feet, then it's gonna have, I believe, a 1 hour rating. And then if it's less than 3 feet, I have to have a 2 hour rating with a sprinkler building. So when you have a building that's existing and they're not altering that, then it's just that, it's an existing condition.
Yeah, so I'm just pointing out that it appears in this drawing that on the upper left-hand corner, that those windows on the upper level may be aligning with the wall. I don't really know where the property line is. It's not clear in the application where the property line is. I'm just posing the question that if these changes need to be made with a review relative to the fire requirement for those windows, that should be part of your application from the applicant when they come back for additional review from.
I don't know if I understand the question. Tim, the engineer that's designing this, the windows on the west side of the building, which would be the left side of the building, to my knowledge, they are existing. Is that correct, Tim?
All the stuff in the brick is existing. Yes, we're not changing anything.
So if they're not changing that, it's an existing condition. So under the building code, under the 2020 New York State existing building code, it's allowable.
Understood. I'm questioning the windows of the addition on the roof.
we'll review that, Chip, and make sure that we're in compliance as part of the, next come around.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doing that, I guess to answer your question, Chip, I don't think that fire rating will affect the certificate of appropriateness application, in my opinion. But if it does, then again, they would have to come back to amend their approval.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can we somehow agree on the last idea that the board authorizes or asks Phil and Victoria to prepare a draft of support? Can that be a motion? I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you very much. In favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Done. Phil and Victoria will do it, and we'll review it with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Victoria, where is we?
I think we're up to Walter Chatham.
Oh,
So,
boy.
what is our time constraint? Just so
We're still good.
pace himself. Okay, 2:38 hours.
We're still good. We got folks who have to drop out at noon, but we're good to go.
Okay,
Okay, great. May I share my screen?
please do.
Please.
Okay, let's see. Yes, good. Am I sharing now? And do you
No.
see? No.
Hey, Walter, you said you were going to get really good at this.
Yes, Phil, you'll know that I have intentions that I don't always follow through on, and that's something I'm trying to work on. Hang on one sec. Let me unshare and try that again.
If I had it, I would say I could share, but I
No.
don't even have this.
No, please, please. I was so proud of my ability to do this. Let's see if I can get it together to do it. Okay, how's that?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so you see photographs, hopefully, with my cursor moving, my little hand?
We do.
Good. So this is this nice house that an artist, quite an accomplished artist, Jenny Jones, has bought and is renovating. And next door to it is this building, which is owned by Galvan and which had a fire. And so I'm going to be really quick, and then I'll let you guys ask any questions. The program is very simple. There was this kind of weird porch with ironwork here and these funny awnings and a back porch that's broken down. And you can see that, well, maybe you can't see it that well, but take my word that there's a medley of 2/2 and 1/1 windows. So out of that, we are proposing pretty much reusing the windows that we can. And what we have done in the past, which may work here, is we can take some of the 1/1, and if they're original windows, we can add mutton bars to them. But one way or the other, we're going to try and reuse the existing windows, but make everything 2/2, with the exception of the bay, which has windows that are too narrow for the vertical mutton bars. So we're going to just leave those windows alone. So really the majority of the work that we're asking for a certificate of appropriateness is to rebuild this little porch, which I showed you, as a wood framed porch, and then to basically try and tie the existing concrete structure, the concrete block underpinnings of the porch, into something, whoops, sorry. Excuse me. Oh, please stop. Okay, this is where I got bad last time, so bear with me. So on the house next door, you'll see they have a wood, stop. Okay, as that photo goes by, you will see there was a wood frame porch there. So there's a wood frame porch here, and we would essentially jacket this porch to try and match this as closely as possible. So if you look here, you can imagine that more or less continuing across, in our introduction of wood posts here, as you can see on that house. Hopefully we'll just, you know, even though it's two separate houses, kind of tie it together. And then, you know, so rebuilding the front porch, the back porch, and a new roof. and the windows. That's it.
What's the roof, Walter?
It's asphalt shingle, and I think we are replacing that in kind, so maybe we don't have to get your permission for the roof, but certainly rebuilding the porch and the other work.
And you're able to keep the historic door?
Yes, it's a nice door. Let's see if I have a picture of that. Okay, now it's going to want to drive through. Okay. So it's a, oak door that has 3 panels below and a rectangular glass panel above. Yeah, so we were just going to reuse that. And oh, I'm sorry, there's a transom up here also that we're going to try and open up, see if we can open that up. And then the only other comment I'll make is there's this very curious arrangement here. And in the old days, I would have said, somebody added that later, I'll take it off. But after years of working with this board and being in Hudson, I've decided that's really the spirit of Hudson there. So we're going to leave those, even though we're building a porch over them.
Wait, what were you just pointing to was curious?
These little triangle pediments over the windows. I've never actually seen anything quite like that. And in all cases now they're covered by other overhangs. So they're, I think, intended to be decorative rather than to shed water. So, I'm just saying we're not taking them off. We're going to restore them.
And do they currently exist under the second story awnings?
They do. They do. And then Miranda, there's the door and there's the transom that we hope exists inside that thing above. So the awnings.
Walter, if you hit the up and down arrow, it'll just jump you by page at the top of the screen.
Oh my God, I'm learning
And then
so
you
much
and then
today.
you won't drive past things.
Okay, all right. We're going to test that as soon as it stops driving. Oh my God, look at that. Okay, I heard that snicker. You'll be old and helpless someday too, and then younger people will laugh at you.
No, I'm laughing with you, Walter.
Of course you are. Of course you are. Okay, so anyway, there they are under the porch. I know you are, Victoria. There they are under the porch, and you can see somehow miraculously, I think the fire or something got to this. I don't know what happened up there, but I'm dying to get that off.
Mm-hmm.
That's really ugly.
If those pediments butted up against the top cornice are weird. You're right.
It's possible the roof.
What is that? Is that covered with aluminum or something?
No, it's that plastic stuff they put on greenhouses. It's much classier than aluminum.
Like corrugated
plastic, yeah.
No, but I mean above the awnings, the soffit or the overhang or whatever you would call it of the roof.
So there is a
Is that
box.
enclosed in something?
It's a box soffit, and there are eaves there, rafters. So I don't know whether they, it's one of these houses where they probably raised the roof a couple times. And my personal theory, which I have no factual basis, is that originally it had a tightly overhanging roof without a soffit or gutter. And so those little pediment things there kept the windows from being damaged by the rain coming off the roof. And then they decided that wasn't so good, and so they covered them all.
Walter, can you zoom in on your upper right-hand photograph and this on your page right now? It shows the soffit and the fascia of the side wall coming down to the front.
This
So
one
exactly.
here, yes.
Yeah, exactly where your cursor was. If you could zoom into that.
Okay, sorry. See, my brag was so great, and now it's just. Whoa.
That's really tight.
Yeah, okay.
Very
I'm so
modern.
sorry. No, wait, I think I can now, I can back my way out of it and
Now we're
get
talking.
perfect detail. Oh boy, look at
All
that.
right.
Oh,
Great.
We are swinging now. See if I, oh no. 600%. That's
The
64.
way it works is it zooms to whatever square you make with the tool. So if you make a 1 pixel square, it zooms it. If you make a large one, it goes to that size. There
Okay,
you go.
I'm just going to try and roll with this. So that's not a great detail, Chip, but I think you can see there's a box.
Yeah, can you get in a little bit more?
There you go.
Okay,
Ah,
so now
nice.
the pixels are a problem. So can I
Yeah.
stop there?
You know, that's fine, Walter. I think what you might find as you're getting into this demolition and seeing a little bit more of the framing, it is very odd that that the window head trim, which is lovely and looks like it's, you know, original to the building, that it's so jammed up against the soffit. It may be that soffit was lowered later, added later. It might have even been because of the design of the window head trim, that there was a bracketed cornice that may even have acted like a kind of a parapet with a roof gutter behind it. But it's a lovely building, and I think your 2/2 windows are right on. I think that's exactly what they ought to be. And typically on a fancy bay window like this on the right-hand side, they would spring for the more expensive one piece of glass rather than the divided light. So I think the direction that you're headed with the excuse me, with the window selection is right on, and the porch as well. I think it would be nice to detail that porch roof so that it doesn't come down hard on top of the window trim in the same way that the roof soffit does.
Right.
A little bit more exploration into that original soffit and fascia at the roof line. There may well have been an integral gutter or a back slanting gutter or behind a bracketed cornice or a cornice of a different design than the cornice that's there now.
That's a point well taken. We were going to look and see if we could cut it back. You know, that was going to be my solution, I guess. And just what you said, Chip, somehow work a gutter in there. And then apropos the comment on the lower porch, I think we're kind of stuck with the height band there, but I was going to actually have the porch go up inside. So once you're lower on the street looking up at the building. So
Yeah. Oh, so the porch ceiling is raked.
The porch ceiling is raked, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
And then one fascinating comment, the comment is not fascinating. This is the house next door. It has the same door. I think that's so interesting.
It is.
There are a lot of those doors around town. I think we had one too.
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioners, any other thoughts or comments? Could we go forward to do a little voting?
Yep.
Terrific. Thanks so much, everyone. Motion
I got a question.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the voice.
This is Craig. I got my hand up. I have a question. And it was an oversight on my part. Well, not necessarily, but Walter, I see on the page that you were just on, that page there, the stairs, you're widening them. I was there the other day doing an inspection on the interior.
Yeah.
And there's nothing proposed on them stairs other than widening, but since you're going to alter them, they have to come in compliance.
Sure.
The building code, and right now they're not. The risers were entirely too high on them stairs existing.
Okay, I'm just looking here to see what we were going to do. I think when I said widen, obviously that means demolish and widen. I know what you're saying, Craig. I think we've changed the rise to run here, but we'll give you a code compliance stair.
Well, no, when you got to give that to the historic as well. Make sure whatever you're giving them, because you're changing the design, and that was that in your original proposal, other than widening them. But now you're changing the elevation of them. So I don't know if that's part of this conversation.
I honestly don't know what to say about that. My intention was to match the house next door, which has those nice or nicer wood steps. Right? So I guess what we were thinking, Craig, was we could, you're saying that the rise to run on these existing steps are not correct, so we can't reuse that? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, once you alter an existing condition, that alteration now has to come in compliance.
Folks, could we accept the solution on the stairs as a contingency that gets presented simultaneously with C of A at the next meeting? And it either makes it or doesn't make it. We don't have to vote aye, but I think there's a way of moving that piece forward.
That sounds right to me.
Okay, let's move forward then. Thank you so much, Walter. And it's been a journey. I think you got bumped at least twice on this. I appreciate your patience. Motion to find the application complete with the contingency understood on the stairs.
So moved.
I'll second.
Terrific. Miranda and Jeremy, thank you. In favor, aye. Are there any opposed? None. Application is complete with the contingency as stated. Motion to request city attorney to prepare a C of A.
And
Waive public hearing. Who spoke?
Oh, that was just me butting in.
Victoria.
I'll move that.
Thank you very much, Miranda. In a second,
second.
please. Jeremy, done. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and Victoria has the contingency on this for the stairs. Cool.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Walter. Okay, now what have we missed?
Phil, if you can hear me, I reached out to Nicole Vidor on her sign at 727 Warren. I left her a message, don't know if she did get on. And then the gentleman for 43 North 6th, he was supposed to be on, so I don't know if they've made it yet.
Okay. Other than that, I think we've completed our business. I know for a fact, because a couple of folks wrote to me that they got to move on. So I would ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Before you do that,
if I may, my name is Ivan Rodriguez. I am on. I don't know if you guys can see me.
You can see
I'm here for 43 North 6th Street.
Okay. Let's do it then.
Okay. Let's see if I can figure out how to share my screen. This is sort of like a first time for myself, so if someone can just tell me what I need to do.
I'll help. Hold on. I'll just do
Thank
it.
you.
I'll talk. Just talk through it. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, I have to close some windows. I have too many open. Okay, share screen. Okay. So this is your scope of work, and then you want me to start with the pictures, or do you want to go through your list?
Either or.
Okay.
Pictures is fine.
Mm-hmm.
So what my client is looking to get is basically 8-inch vertical siding. It's called LP Smart Siding.
Yvonne, do you have a current picture of the house?
Yeah, it's right underneath there.
Got it.
Thank you. Is it currently?
Yeah, existing. It is a metal 8-inch reveal siding, and I am not entirely sure when this was done, but the whole exterior of the house is in very poor condition.
When you say reveal, what's the material?
It's called LP Smart Side, which is engineered wood.
No, the existing. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
The existing siding.
It's metal.
Metal.
It's a metal siding. Yep.
Okay. So all of that comes off?
Yeah, so our intention is to replace all the metal siding from the house and replace it, all this horizontal siding, and replace it with vertical siding, which is what reflects the first picture there.
Okay. And that's going to be a fabricated wood product?
Yeah, it's called engineered wood.
Okay.
With and essentially looks like cedar texture wood.
A wider picture of the whole house as it looks now.
I'm sorry?
I mean, do you have a picture that shows the whole house and in its?
Yeah, if we scroll down, there is other views of the home
Right.
in which we can see.
Let me pull it up.
Sorry, I just sent you the kind of Google Street View if you want to.
Oh, you can put it up if you want. I was just looking it up myself. Oh, I think I got it.
I mean, I could do it. I got it up right now. Here.
Okay.
This is obviously it's changed color since then.
Correct. Yeah, so this was maybe I want to say 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, so the house example you were just showing the siding piece. It had nothing to do with the house itself.
Yeah, no, so the first picture just shows the type of siding and the type of roof that we intend to replace this existing siding and roof with.
Hey, can you
But isn't this the cover? Isn't this a cover of the siding, right? Like, isn't there wood siding underneath this?
No, I believe what's underneath this is that plastic siding, what's it called?
Vinyl?
Vinyl siding.
If you torn out a piece of this, you can look and see if under the vinyl there's wood.
Oh, I could look into that, yes. However, the metal siding has been on there for a number of years. I would imagine the vinyl siding has been even much longer. So the condition of the layer underneath of all that.
Well, I think without exploring it, we don't know, because we have, every day siding comes off in Hudson, and every day we find gems underneath. This is a pretty extraordinary house. So I think it's worth finding out what's under there before we make decisions about how to alter it.
Right. And also, even if it's not savable, if you can find something, it'll give you an idea of the width and whether it was horizontal, not vertical.
Right, and I'm assuming what's underneath is most likely going to be a horizontal siding, and we are looking to have vertical siding.
This house has some really pretty extraordinary historic details.
Yeah.
Including the roof line and the bay windows and little tower on the corner. These are all elements that, in my opinion, are not compatible with vertical siding.
Couldn't agree more.
I agree.
I agree.
And I think we should see what's underneath. And I think we should, what is underneath is what's going to be the historic material. And if it's savable, then our preference would be to save it. And if not, then our preference would be to replace it with something as similar as possible.
This beautiful line here on the left.
It's
also a great pair with the house next to it, which we have looked at before in the past. Jeremy, you were just around the corner. I mean, it makes it a really important pair with that house next to it, right?
Mm.
Like this is a Hudson moment here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was looking at this. You could see it. The similarity.
It may have asbestos shingles or something underneath.
Oh, wow.
There could be, yeah.
Okay, so so far I have for the siding, just look underneath and see if there is anything under, and then report back. Is that
That's it.
correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
What does the owner plan to do about the garage? Anything?
Yes, I would like to just close the loop on the roof if we may.
Oh, sure.
I have siding all checked out. Now my question for the roof is, well, it's not actually a question. Our intention is to just replace like for like. Find all the roof around this house. There's shingles on the lawn pretty much every time we get decent winds. There is shingles flying all over the place, so we need to address that roof.
Right. I mean, as code enforcement will certainly tell you, like for like needs to be exact. And if this isn't as old as you say it is, and it's not exact, then we would need to approve it. But asphalt shingles is perfectly fine from our stance generally.
I would just say, I would say, John, regarding the exterior, I would expect the exterior finishes of this house that would be discovered once this aluminum siding, this metal siding is taken off, that the exterior siding is going to be quite varied and probably detailed and quite wonderful. I think that an asphalt shingle may or may not be appropriate for this building, particularly the witch's hat on the bay window of the second floor. That probably also would have been highly decorative, whether it was metal or wood or slate. I don't think, I think that this is a really important building. It's really lovely, and I think your points about making it being the sister to the house next door and being a Hudson moment is right on. And I think that both of these houses are deserving of very careful, very careful restoration, preservation, and detailing, because the exterior woodwork is really wonderful.
Well, I think that's well said. You know what? So I spoke too quickly. I mean, when you move to replace the roof, assuming it's not exactly like for like, which code enforcement would make that assessment. If it is not, then we are going to want to ask questions about what's underneath, particularly the witch's hat, particularly areas around the windows, anywhere that has potential detailing. And we'd love to know what's underneath there so that we can work with you to find the appropriate material to replace with.
Are we talking about the roof?
We are.
Yeah, no, about the roof, I am going to find exactly what's under there so we can get going with this project. So I would like to, since this has already been approved, given that it's already on, I would like to replace it with exactly like for like.
Okay, that decision, you need to just show whatever that is, whatever commercial material you determine, you have to show that to code enforcement, to Craig, so that he can determine it's like for like. And if it's not, then we will want to discuss it.
Absolutely.
Great.
And what would be really helpful, I think, to you and your client as well, would be to see if you can find some historic photographs of this house.
Yeah, we've tried. I actually intended to come to this meeting with photographs from back in the day for this, because this actually leads me to my next point, which is the front porch there. Like I said, this picture must have been taken a while ago, because that front porch is completely collapsing, and I don't believe this front porch is part of the original structure. It looks like a temporary sort of porch, and we intend to either, if this is what's approved and what is intended for us to use, then we would like to rebuild it and make it basically like for like.
So
if we,
Ivan, you gave us, I know we're going to be short on time. You gave us pictures of what exists, but in the application, I didn't see what you're actually proposing in its place. This is your
for the porch or for the whole thing? I'm sorry, I don't think I got your question.
The porch that you're talking about.
I need to, well, that is basically why I'm bringing this up. So I need to know if this is an acceptable format for the front porch so we can rebuild and make it safe. As you can see, the stairs at the bottom, they're all collapsing. So this is a matter, this is one of the most pressing matters, well, along with the whole thing, because we have pieces of metal kind of like swinging with the wind, asphalt shingles all over the lawn. Steps are unsafe, and our intention is to move on this as quick as possible.
Right,
Keeping in
so
mind that we want to make it safe
the board needs the plans though for what you want it, so this is, you know, this will convince the board possibly that this needs to be replaced, but they need to look at what you propose to replace it with.
And I think like for like of that front porch is not something I don't think anyone is interested in.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to, I think, Ivan, I mean, we don't want to slow you down. We agree this house needs care and love. We do, but we have to do our job. So I think we need a drawing of what you want to replace the front porch with. And, you know, is historic is possible, is great. I mean, that's a big word. The other thing I would say is, Chip, we would all advise you is when you take the porch down and when you take the siding off, you might find ghost remains of what was there, which might guide you also.
Sure. And John, I thank you for the clarification. And I don't think by any means you would deliberately try to slow me down. So I completely understand. I just need some guidance as to how I can move forward with this project as
well. I think we need a specific drawing. I think so. Let's just sum up.
Yep.
You need to take off the siding and find out if there's clapboard there. Yep. And if there is clapboard that you want to restore or replace. We generally prefer restoration, and it's done all over Hudson. Yes, it's hard, but it's often worth it. If you don't want to restore it, then you do want to replace it, when all the siding comes off, we have to look, as Chip said, there's going to be a lot of details underneath there that we all, you, the owner, and we will want to see, because we don't want any of those historic details on the original wood that's most likely under there to be removed. And then on the roof, if you can find the exact material, in our experience, it's very hard to do that. Then it's not our jurisdiction. But if Craig and Code determine that you cannot, then we do want to look, I think, under the roof and maybe have a conversation with you about what you want to do. The porch is a different question, right? You're going to basically propose to build something there, construct something new, and in so doing, you're going to need a drawing of the thing you're going to build. Sure. And inspiration can be found all over Hudson. If you can't find a picture of it and you've looked, or you might also write to Carol Osterling from Gossips of Rivertown, who's an invaluable resource for this commission. And you could ask her if she knows of any pictures. I live on Columbia Street too. I know it's hard. So I would just say that that's the way to go. And then you and the owner, or with or without an architect, need to determine what that new porch is going to look like, and bring us a drawing and reasonable specifications. It does not have to be an architect's drawing, right? Okay. But with reasonable size and specifications about how it's going to be constructed and of what it will be constructed.
Sure. Can you provide me with the name of the person who I can possibly get some pictures?
It's called Gossips of Rivertown. It's our local blog here. Gossips of Rivertown.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
You go on there. I think you can write to Gossips, and that's Carol.
Okay.
Are there any other archives you should look at too, John?
There's an archive at the library, but
yeah,
where Carol would probably direct. You can also you or the owner or anyone can go into the library. There's a room, and they have a big archive of images of Hudson.
And even if you can't find a picture of your exact building, you may find pictures of other buildings that are from the same historic period. So you get an idea of what a porch for that kind of building might look like.
Jeremy, is the porch next door original?
In that picture?
No, like when you were just on Google Maps and you looked at next door at the house. I can't remember. Does it have a porch and is it original?
Hold on, I'm looking right now. Here, I'll share.
In the porch next door, anything from next door that's original and that you can see would be really interesting to us because it's. Okay, I think Chip will tell us that's probably not original. Looks like somebody found some columns. I don't know, but that doorway, that door frame.
The door frame might be.
The door frame may well be. So I don't know what. Listen, I don't know what the owner intends, but I do know this. A lot of people on this commission care enormously. So if you want to reach out, we can probably try to guide you.
Absolutely, yeah. In terms of the porch, like I said, at this point, it's just a matter of safety. So we were looking for the quickest route to get to be able to address the issue. We have it's an occupied home, and there is children in the house.
So one thing we could do that we've done in the past is if the board could consider issuing a C of A to demolish it.
Absolutely.
Then you could come back once you've done your diligence and what you've uncovered, but that will leave you guys without a porch for.
Well, or you could demolish it and put up some safe stairs, temporary stairs that Craig approved, and then you would have more time to worry about this.
Yeah, absolutely. I will absolutely run this by my client. Also,
is that something the board would want to consider for the next meeting, a C of A to simply demolish the stairs and remove?
I don't know why we need to name if safety and urgency are important. We all know that porch is not going to be here. I would just say we can issue it today with the condition that it's approved by code enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very clear that porch is not appropriate to the house, and I'm sure that when the aluminum siding comes off, there may be some indication. I said I'm sure. I would guess that there would be some ghosting on the original siding of what a porch might be. Also, it's possible to look at the insurance maps. The Sanborn insurance maps will show stoops and porches, and this house would certainly be evidenced on the Sanborn insurance maps, fire insurance maps, which are also available at the library.
okay. All right. I think I have my notes on the porch, and there's just two more things that I need to.
Real quick here on the porch, and I don't want to delay this, but you cannot demolish that porch and leave it for an extended period of time. That's a path of egress. So my suggestion would be that you stabilize that porch. Let's face it, that condition didn't happen overnight. It's been like this for some time. So that has to be stabilized, and then do your design and come back to the commission.
Yeah.
I will not allow you to remove the porch.
Okay.
Understood. Yeah, I can definitely try my best to stabilize that porch. However, the main safety concern of my client is that after this rainy season, now that porch is really going downhill. I'm not saying that this happened yesterday or last week. I'm saying now it is.
I would not interrupt you, but they're on a time constraint. You can come and see me and we can talk about that. So right now you have no approval to do anything to that porch other than stabilize.
Understood. No problem at all. Thank you.
Okay.
So my last 2 points are street level entrance. And if there is a drawing needed for that, there is a street level entrance 2 doors down from this house, and I actually thought about adding a picture of that, but 2 doors down from this home on 6th Street going south, there is a street level entrance that my client would like to.
Which entrance? I'm sorry, where's the picture of this?
Is that to replace the garage?
And that's my last point. Not replace the garage. The garage, we intend to increase the size to convert it into 2 bay garage, parking for 2 cars.
So you need a plan and materials and all of that for that as well.
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's a lot to take on. So you've got your hands full.
I do, yeah. But I'm happy that I got to discuss this with you guys. I'm happy I got to bring it up so I know how to proceed from this point on.
Okay.
Thank you for being so responsive and open. And again, as I reiterate, if we can help, let us know.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to meeting with you guys last Friday of the month, correct?
If we can do, yes, let's see how far you get. There's a ton of stuff to get done. If you're going to be ready then, and Craig has an opportunity to see what you prepared beforehand to bring it to us, then sure, it's a continuation. Fair. But
not last Friday in any event. It's second and fourth Fridays.
Second and fourth.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct. Thanks, Victoria. Ladies and gents, are there further questions or comments?
I move that we adjourn, Phil.
Second by Chip. I think all are in favor. Thanks so much. I know everybody had awesome time constraints for this morning, but you came through anyway. Thank you.
Thank you all for keeping it so tight. Bye now.
Thanks, everyone.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, Ivan, before you go, I got a text. Are you gone?
No, I'm here.
There is a photo of this house in the collection at the Columbia County Historical Society. I think it's the Monthie collection, Monthie. You may want to
Monthie.
Yeah, and this would be a great guide for you and the owner. So you might want to put somebody on reaching out to them. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a picture of it in the collection of.
It's called the Monthie, Monthie collection.
Okay.
And if you call there or write them an email, they may respond.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
Don't thank me. This comes from Gossips and Carol. All right. Bye now.
Oh, perfect.
Ciao.